Hi!
Hey there, ew, it's me, Sahara Davenport, along with...
Manila, Luzon!
And it's Monday, honey, and we all know that Mondays are a drag.
So we are going to do another video of us and our response to the episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
A recap, if you will.
A recap.
Before we start, we just want to reiterate the fact that we are avid supporters of each and every one of the girls and the RuPaul institution, and that we don't make the news, we just report it.
And we can't read what we don't see, honey.
Wow.
The Snatch Game. It's one of everyone's favorite episodes, the Snatch Game.
It is the episode of the season.
It's where the oil is separated from the vinegar, darling.
Yes, honey, the boys are separated from the girls.
The big men.
Yeah.
So let's go through the panel. Let's start with Sharon Needles as Michelle Visage. What do you think?
I thought it was very brave. It was like on my season when Jessica did Rue. She was great. She was funny. I thought she was spot on. A little harsh, as Michelle stated. But hey, it's an exaggeration. It's drag. So
yeah, it was a caricature.
She's quick on her feet, and she came through. She was obviously had really studied Michelle and knew the isms and Michelle Visagisms and stuff like that. So way to go.
Yes, perfect. And it's a great way of sucking up. She's really good at that.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Milan as Diana Ross.
Oh, my baby. I see where she was going with that. It was kind of like last year's Raja's interpretation of Tyra Banks, but I maybe she just took it too far, and maybe they just don't like her.
Maybe they don't. I actually didn't think that it was nearly as bad. I mean, I know that Milan does a really spot on like impression of Donna Summer. So
and Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland.
I mean, her Janelle Monáe looked gorgeous. It's just as she said earlier, that she wanted to give more and have them tell her to push back. Obviously, they didn't tell her to push back. They told her to go home.
They didn't tell her to go home. They put
her in the bottom to threaten it. But you know what I mean? It's like, so how do you win? Because there are certain people sitting there who gave absolutely nothing. And then some people who what they were given was so far left, honey, that they should have been on another show.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Next to her was Willem. Oh, yeah. I thought that it was really funny. Willem's Jessica Simpson. Although I think that Willem's Jessica Simpson could have been, yeah, it's Willem's Willem.
She was really good at it. You can tell that she's, in her brain, and she's just a cerebral actress, so which is always great because, like Ross said, she's gonna always throw it back at you, and that's what I love. Her one-liners, and she's always ready, and she's on it. She's definitely on it. You can't hate for that.
Well, I personally think that she should have put on a fat suit and contoured in a butt chin. I think that would have been more of a spot-on impersonation, honestly, for my opinion.
Well.
And next to her was Latrice as
Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. They didn't really focus that much on Latrice and let her go in as they did others, so she was safe, needless to say.
Okay. Bottom row, we have our friend Jiggly Caliente as Snooki.
She was what they showed. I mean, she was Snooki, nothing to write home about. And next to Jiggly was
Fifi O'Hara as Lady Gaga.
I never knew Lady Gaga was just so aggressive and rough.
Well,
I always see her as more laid back, calculated, and very thinking about what she's gonna say.
Lady Gaga does kind of act like that crazy when she's performing.
Right.
When I would have preferred to see her maybe when she would have been, I don't know, she should have had a teacup and she should have been wearing a Chanel suit and been doing her Diane Sawyer like
Diane Sawyer like Daphne Guinness.
I think that would have been more interesting to see for Lady Gaga. But I mean, as a drag performer, we're used to doing their performances, so I can see why she would have done that. She probably just grabbed her Lady Gaga costume she had in her bag and just said, alright, I'm gonna do Lady Gaga doing Judas.
What about those tears? Are they crocodile tears?
She cries every episode.
She's the cosign crier, honey. You know what I mean?
Always crying.
Someone will be crying, and then all of a sudden she's giving buckets. It's never motivated or initiated by her, but she's always co-signing. Like, oh yeah, I feel that way too. Ah.
Well, maybe it's like when someone sees someone else throwing up, they have to throw up as well. Or maybe she just likes to cry. Moving next to her was Dita Ritz as... How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? I thought it was good. She had the voice. She sounded just like her, and
that's all they showed.
That's all they didn't really show much of Dita Ritz, but again, she was safe. So moving on, next to her was oh, little Kenya Michaels doing the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Girl, what Beyonce was that?
I don't know, honey. I've seen Beyonce several times in concert on DVD. Yeah, I have no idea.
She was all over the place. I don't know if it was her language barrier or...
It wasn't a language barrier. That was just crazy.
She had decided to make Beyonce a character.
Well, she said Beyonce was on medication. I don't know that Beyonce's on medication.
Or Beyonce was hyper. If Beyonce was pregnant, perhaps. I don't. Prenatal matters? I don't know. It was just weird. It was like last Yada's Amy Winehouse.
It was weirder than Yara's Amy Winehouse, and that is saying a lot, Miss Kenya Michaels. Next to her was the legendary Chad Michaels as... Oh!
Sherry doesn't do that, remember?
Who cares?
It's so funny to have her say in the walkthrough to have her be like,
Cher, have you ever seen Cher going, oh? And then RuPaul comes up and says, oh. But she did amazing. She looks great.
She was definitely solid, entertaining.
And that is what a celebrity impersonation is.
It was funny. She looked like her. It was spot on. Her responses were witty. She changed wigs, so that was the extra. And like they said, there was tons of pressure on her because everybody in the country is looking to see the Cher. And so she brought it. Congratulations to you for winning the challenge.
Good job, Chad.
Yeah,
Work.
yes.
So let's talk about our runway.
Do we have to?
Dita, she had that fun little plush animal skirt. That was cute.
Made out of plushies. That was cute. She looked nice tonight. Her hair and makeup and everything was great. She was lotioned. That was the issue last year. So this week she went in,
polished up them knees.
Those kneecaps and elbows and things. Treese looked great, looked heavenly in her gown, honey. Giving you evening gown competition.
She had the jewels.
The jewelry. She was ready, to win gown tonight. Representing for the big girls.
Willem's outfit, that was kind of cool. I really like that.
Oh yes, Willem tonight I think was definitely
I think it's the best I've seen Willem so far.
For me, it was my favorite.
But what was with that crying at the end of the episode? Was that an Oscar award-winning perforance? Or
Definitely
was that
not
real?
an Oscar award-winning performance.
Because it conveniently came they were like, we need to see some more vulnerability of who you are. I am not acting.
And so it was like...
But I don't have any tears because Fifi O'Hara used them all up. What about Milan's outfit? They didn't like Milan's outfit at all.
It's harder to make a man look like a woman trying to look like a man.
Yeah, because it just looks like
a
man. Maybe instead of doing an exact replica of what's her face,
he could have done a variation of it.
He could have done maybe leggings and a heel,
a spectator pump or something. I don't even know why he had to stay and do that. Just put on the dress and go down the damn runway. Ain't nobody tell you to be no character. You just did that. I mean, even just coming out, Michelle said he looked like Bruno Mars on Red Bull.
Sugar free.
Not the way she was tight roping, honey. She was getting it. I have to give her kudos for her commitment, honey, and conviction.
Well, she's here for another week, and we're glad our friend is still on RuPaul's Drag Race season 4.
She's safe. Look. Oh, my bottom
You're weird.
That lip sync was something else, honey. Milan was standing on his neck. She was doing forte turns.
That was it's really nice to see because I don't think it's very often in Drag Race lip syncs where you have two amazing performers lip syncing against each other. They it's always one's really good and one's kind of or like a physical performer. You know what I mean?
Or one's a pointer sister. We are family.
Well, I'm sad to say that both Puerto Ricans were sent back home two episodes in a row. So
both by Milan.
Ooh, Puerto Rico! Better watch out, Milan. It's coming for you.
Puerto Rico gonna get you.
All right. Well, I guess Milan's not getting no bookings in Puerto Rico. Well, we're sorry to see Miss Kenya in all of her beauty go away, but I'm sure it's not the last we've seen of her.
It's not. She's a bright queen with a bright future.
She kind of made history. She was the first little person to ever be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
She's not a little person.
She is. I watched her her audition tape on YouTube, and she says, "I am a little person."
Well, she meant little as in not like a midget.
Well,
not little person.
It's not
little
PC to say midget.
Well,
Midget is different from little person. I watched lots of TLC, so I know.
If you say so, honey.
Well, if she's a little person, she's the first little person on RuPaul's Drag Race, and if she's just a Puerto Rican, then she's like the 8th or 9th Puerto Rican that's ever been on RuPaul's Drag Race. So there you go.
Right.
All right.
Way to brand yourself, girl.
All right. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Until next week. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.